Good morning. It's a really grey day here. Pigeons are struggling to wake up. I'm struggling to wake up. We got so much to do today. This is the current state of my setup. And as you can see, I've been filming nails, but what I need to do today is film a bunch of content for my new journal that I've made. So I need to clear up all of this. I think first, let's go make some coffee. So this is my current little setup at my desk. My camera's on charge at the moment, so what I'm going to do, I think, is edit the footage I've already got from when I did these nails, drink my coffee, do a bit of research into what I want the videos for this to look like, and then we are going to do a bit of work in this today. So that's the plan for this morning. Here we are, just editing that nail video. If you'd like to see how I do my nails, just keep watching and we'll let it play. And if you're not interested, just skip approximately 4 minutes and we'll be back. Alrighty, so I've put a hard gel layer on already. It is a little bit bubbly because I didn't wipe the sticky layer off the base coat, and I think that's what's kind of messed it up a little bit, but you know, it's still going to protect my nail, so we live and learn. And this is me putting on full cover tips. I'm using a peel off base coat, so the idea is that it should peel off again when it's time to change them out. That's the hope. So let's just get these on one at a time using my gooseneck lamp. Now I'm just going to paint the underside so that there's not a gap between the nail and the full cover tip, because otherwise they'll get dirty, like they'll get little bits trapped in that gap. I accidentally used base coat for this when I think you're supposed to use top coat, and then I went over it in top coat afterwards. But actually the nails that I made that mistake on, I really like how they came out. They have this sort of big, smooth, chunky layer underneath that just feels really nice. I don't know, I quite like it, I might do it again. And then this is me just filing around the edges. I'm trying to make it look a bit better because these full cover tips did not really fit my fingers. My fingers didn't really fit my nails very well. So this is me trying to make the best of a bad situation. To be fair though, I am still really pleased with how they came out. I've literally never done full cover tips before. And I think for a first go, I think we did okay. So time for some nail polish on top. I'm using this like quite neutral colour. Turns out it's much easier when you use a neutral colour. Basically, if you've heard me reference, or when I did it before, I did try and do a video where I painted gel nails onto my fingers. Oh my gosh, stop saying fingers. Onto my nails instead of onto a full cover tip. And I was using white nail polish because I thought I'd try and make a design that goes with the journal, right? The whole thing was a total disaster. I did edit it and put it together in a video, and then I took it down because, oh my goodness. But anyway, turns out painting full cover tips and using a neutral colour is way, way, way easier. So these came out really well. They had a really smooth finish. I only used one layer and then I put a top coat on top. So for a couple of days I just went round with them plain like this. And then on my day off I added some nail art, and these are just little stickers that I got from Amazon. They're all witchy themed. There's like stars and moons and sort of astrology. There's not actually any real constellations, and there's some little symbols that look like the star signs, but they're not actually star signs. They did, however, have the elements. It was a random set, but to be honest, it was enough to give the aesthetic of kind of sparkly witchy vibe, so I was happy with how they turned out. Ta-da! So now I've got some pretty nails that I can use to film some content for the new Charm This journal. Let's get to it. Right, we are going to unbox my journals that I ordered. So I made these myself on Canva, and I'll definitely do a video showing you how I did that if you're interested. And then I ordered them, or published them, off Amazon KDP, so it's Kindle Direct Publishing. You can publish your own stuff and they print it for you. If you, as an author, order some copies, they're cheaper. So I've ordered 10, which I'm then going to put on my Etsy store. And I do think that's the best way to make profit, because you can sell directly on Amazon as well. Like, people can order off of Amazon just like they would order any book, but the profit that you as the creator get from that is very, very minimal. So I've got the journal on for about £11 at the moment, which I do actually think might be a little bit too much. It's more than I would want to put it on for, but even with that, I as the author and creator make about £2 something. I think it was £2.75. I'll double check and I'll pop it up here. Whereas I can order these and they're like £2.75 each, sort of thing. And then obviously I can pop them on my Etsy shop and sell them. But, you know, there would still be costs that would eat into that profit. I would need to do the packaging, I would need to do the postage, so it may even end up being much of a muchness, but I wanted to get some copies to put on Etsy just to see if they get any traction, just to see if there's any interest. It's all really useful to find out, isn't it? So let's get into them. I'm slightly nervous because I've ordered from Amazon KDP before when I created a garden journal, and it came with like huge smeary fingerprints on the front. Not even like ink fingerprints, as in someone had eaten some chocolate and had like picked up the journal. Oh, it's disgusting. Ugh. So yeah, a little bit nervous. Ooh, here they are. Okay, I think I can just grab them and pull them. Which way are they coming? Ah, yay! Let's get rid of that. So I went for this like yellow back, and I didn't put anything on the back. Like, I didn't do about the author or anything. Like, come on. It's just me making a little journal for funsies. Here we go. All right, let's have a look inside. So I think I took a bit of a risk doing it in this white. I just thought it looked quite crisp, and I kept it deliberately plain because, I don't know about you, but I really like decorating my journals and putting stickers on and tapes on, so I wanted to keep it blank so that people could do their own thing with it. But obviously it does run the risk of, I wonder whether imperfections would show up. But anyway, so inside you get a little message, and then a little space to write your name. And then there's just loads of activities. So let's try and lay this flat. I carefully did the margins so that you could like bend the page and lay it flat. I definitely found that to be an issue the last time I made a journal. So this has got really big margins on it. So you learn so much, these trials and errors. So here we go. So you've got like a colouring page. You would need to use acrylic pens, or you'd need to use pencils, because I don't have any control over the quality of the paper and things like that. I'm sure I could investigate that one day and publish it differently if I wanted to, but for Amazon KDP, I don't get a great deal of choice. So a regular felt tip is gonna bleed. But I've tested it with acrylics and I've tested it with pencils, and you really don't see it that much. Like, you'll see it a tiny bit, obviously, because it's white paper and you're colouring, but it's nothing that looks awful. And then there's just all these activities for you to do. So you can research types of witches and write that all in. And I've kept pages like this deliberately blank so that you can do research, you can do scrapbooking, you can do artwork that represents these Sabbats, basically. So this is In Bulk, which is the first one of the year. It's the February festival, which is like the birth of new life, things are starting to germinate, there's all sorts of significance behind it, and basically this journal is encouraging you to research and discover that significance and sort of relay it in a way that means something to you. So it's essentially like a build your own grimoire journal, or build your own book of shadows. If you're not really sure where to start, it prompts you and gives you ideas. So you could explore the meaning of the Fool tarot card, for example. And I did most of the artwork for this myself, so that is my design for the Fool. I was actually doing a Good Omens theme. If you look really closely, it's based on Crowley. He's actually holding his little pipe that goes in the Bentley. But anyway. And then, you know, I did this and I did this. There's a couple of bits that I got off of Canva. You can use things off Canva if you're using the free designs. You can't use any of the pro designs, just to be really clear. You can't publish any pro designs as your own, but you can utilize the free ones. So this shelf here was one of the free designs, so I put that in because frankly at this point I actually could not bother to draw a shelf. But the potion and the little chamomile jar on the shelf is mine. I did this. So the vast majority of it is me. I've done that, I've done that. There's just a very basic sort of shelf here or there that wasn't me, so like this bookshelf, for example. So if you're thinking about creating something yourself, yes, there's definitely things on Canva that you can use to support you if you're not arty. However, I would say I think people appreciate something that is clearly, I don't know, something that is clearly unique and has been created with love, as it were. So, you know, I drew that. That's my goddess that I drew. This is the researcher goddess page. Again, like deliberately relatively blank so that you can fill it in whatever way you want. Astrology, research your birth chart. You've just got space here to delve in and have a go. So yeah, if you're interested in something like this is definitely made with love. This is definitely a lot of work that's gone into this, and I'd be absolutely over the moon if somebody was interested and ordered this and had a fun time with it. So yeah, that's what I've been up to with my small business recently. So I'm going to go ahead and put these up on Etsy, I think. I obviously need to do some promotional pictures, stuff like that. You can check out my Etsy and order one there, or alternatively you can order direct from Amazon KDP. It will definitely come faster if you do it off of Amazon directly. As I said earlier, I don't think it's actually going to make much difference to me by the time I factor in postage and packaging. So yeah, let me know what you think. Feedback welcome. See you in the next one. Bye!